Morning, Nevin. Do 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 do. Let's see. I gotta start my podcast stuff. Gonna move that back. I'm gonna start this one. Morning, Scott. Let's see. I'm all kinds of out of sorts today. Don't know why. Probably. Meta has a cross up. I tested positive again this morning, by the way. My understanding is that it's the dead virus that's showing up. So I'm probably not contagious, but God, these okay, hold on. I'm gonna take this. I want to get Sam's question. Sorry, I was responding back to Sam's question, but I do want to answer it. Do. That's Dow. Let's see that. Celebrity ETFs. Low cost Vanguard. Emerging markets should start to pop. XLC. FedEx with a cross up. This one's been on a tear. I don't know if I like it there. Norwegian Cruise Line. Their earnings are coming up. Royal Caribbean popped. Look at this one. Under its 200-day. Still. That was COVID. And that was the cruise lines. You got a negative 200-day, positive 50-day. Okay, Mickey. Okay. Morning, Joe. This one before earnings might be interesting. Okay. But I got green arrows. Google is way up by 1%. Meta is up by 1.2. Nvidia up 1.6. PanW up 1. Qualcomm up 2. Roblox up 2%. Roblox is at 38. Shopify up 2. Snowflake up 2. Tesla up 2. Taiwan Semi up 2. Uber up 2. Okay, let's see. Let's go to the Dow. I'm not going to do ARC. Let's see if any Dow components. Intel crossed up. I would not buy Intel, even though Intel falls into that. Don't be on the sidelines when a company starts making money. That's essentially what Intel did yesterday. Zoom. I mean, they're up 6% in pre-market. And it's clear, chips. I mean, chips are just soaring with the Intel kind of news. So maybe FedEx does. Okay. I got the scans. Let me see. Move you over to Active Trader Pro so I can. Let me see. Let me see if they have a. Let's see. They emailed about a new indicator. ICT order block indicator. That's it. Oh, yeah, Savvy Trader. Here. Boom, 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 boom. It's in the newsletter. End phase. Pavin, end phase. Ugh. We'll get to end phase. This is next week is what I really want to look at. On semi. SOFI should be interesting. Let's see. Earnings next week. SOFI on Uber. Let's see, core portfolio. PXD, DVN, Qualcomm, Shop, Oxy, SPG, Apple, Amazon. Let's see about Brad's. SOFI, Uber, Match, Shop, Airbnb, Amazon. Let's see, covered call strategy, DraftKings, Hood and DraftKings. Sedge, PayPal. Okay. Big earnings next week. Okay, let's look at SPY. Boom, boom. Strategy tester. 4-hour run. And you know what? Hold on one second. Preferences. We're going to output recording. Audio encoder. I don't want to mess with this too much, but audio video guest from file path or URL. Morning, Sherry. I'm trying to figure out my audio. decay rate, advanced. I just don't know enough about this crap. Hotkeys, video. I'll figure out later. Okay. I guess it's okay. I just don't know. By the way, anybody here, if you have Android, I have Nevin, who's here, I know, has an issue, and I don't know anybody with Android. That's the problem. But with the newsletter, essentially what's happening when he gets the newsletter is he'll scroll down and see all these symbols. I basically do $SHOP, $RAVN, $GEHC, $NOW, and I do the $ in there so you can see the symbol. Well, on Nevin's, and he wrote to me here, on all of his in the Substack app, he's not seeing the symbol. So it would say, it would say it was an educated guess, and then there's a blank and blank or clues. Is it the 28th? Mo, I'm still positive with COVID, so that's my excuse. Let me see. I think I can change it. YouTube Studio. Did I not change it? Let me see. Content. Live. Oh, I didn't change it. Okay, we're going to change it live here. 728. 728. And it should show up as 728 now. It won't show up on your current screens, but okay, let me do this. Boom, boom. Okay. But back to this on the newsletter. So Sherry, are you using the app or on the email? The Substack app, because it's the Substack app, I think, that's not showing it. I don't know if you're getting it on the email or not. The email won't show green and red and the changes, like the percentage, but the app should. That's what's crazy. Hey, see, Nevin, I told you we would find an answer. It's just you, bonehead. Said in a very loving way. So, yeah, she's seeing it on an email. So, when I send out the email today, Nevin, look at the email. And then we can, I'll write to Substack as well. I don't know that I'm large enough to get an audience with them, but at least I can get their, I'm large enough that I think I can get their attention. They've sent me a couple of things. Yeah. See, when you go to the website, it'll show. And Nevin, that might be, try going to dailystockpick.substack.com. Try using the web interface. That might show. Because it is, essentially, if you can't see what I'm talking about, I mean, it makes the newsletter useless. Absolutely useless. So, yeah. Okay. I'm going to start this podcast. Let's write to them about the app. If you're seeing it on the email, I mean, I like the app, to be honest with you. It's just nice. It's a nice app. And just to be full disclosure, what I told Devin, I said, dude, it's Android. Who cares? I think you're right, Sherry. I think Shop is an $80 stock. I mean, it's been capitulating here. I think it's, I wish I would have gotten it at 63, 65 today, but I'm going to buy a little bit more. I'm going to dollar cost average my way down a little bit more. I've got so much of it, but I'm up on so many other stocks that I don't mind spending some cash and throwing it that way. Morning, Eric. And Meta was a sale yesterday, ironically. I'm looking at it more long-term. I do think that this was the afternoon the morning candle yesterday. This is the afternoon candle, and it continued to come down. I don't think that you're getting below 300, though. I just think the earnings were just too good. But if he comes out and says, yeah, we're going to spend $50 billion in the next quarter on the metaverse, they'll punish him. Amazon's way up before earnings. I mean, Amazon just under 130. But I do think you might have a chance to buy it at 120. Yeah, ELF. Let's see. Let's look at ELF. See, what scares me about ELF is this gap is not too far away to think that it's still in play. But their earnings coming up August 1st. If you take a look at a weekly, I don't know if we even have, yeah. I mean, that growth right there from 2022 down at $24 1 year ago. $24 1 year ago. And you just from a weekly, you haven't looked back since. This was the only time it broke under that 9-day, really. But you haven't even touched the 50-day. So, and let's see there. Yeah, PE's 100, forward PE's 49. They're up 101% year to date. Over 1 year, 244%. This is interesting. It's options is what's pulling it down. Which makes sense. Are there any insider buys or sales? Ooh. They're selling. I mean, look. When you see $4 and $5 million from, $7 million from the CEO, but he's exercising options worth $1.84 and then selling them for $113,000. I mean, that's essentially what this sale is. Look, he exercised 39,000 shares. He paid $73,000 for those shares. He basically sold it for almost $4.5 million. Just over $4.5 million. That's what he's doing. So I don't blame him, but God, that's a lot of freaking money from the CEO. Over a 1 month period. That's a lot of money. But, okay, let's see. We're going to start SPY. I like this look at it. Okay, Nevin, I'm taking you off the board on that one. I'm not going to mention it on the podcast. Since we know it's probably a U issue, but we'll yeah, I think that's the smart move, Sherry, going into earnings with that run up. I think that's the smart move. Smart money does that. Because I think you've made a lot of money on that one too. You've done really well on it. Even Ulta. One thing that I do want to look at is my Sedge. Here's Ulta, 448. I think I bought this at 450. I mean, it's just continued to pull back. And they don't have earnings coming up, so it's just continued towards this 429 gap. It covered the gap up to 485. That was clear that was a gap fill. But if you look at a weekly of Ulta, it's not even back at its 200-day. So you're welcome, Nevin. Thanks, Sherry. Thankfully, someone else is not on the Apple train. I would tell you to get on the Apple train. I think Sherry is staunch anti-Apple, though. Let's go SPY. Okay, I'm going to go back here. I'm going to start this puppy up. Good morning. Happy Friday. Friday, July 28th. I am still COVID positive. What I'm reading about it, it's funny when you wind up getting COVID, and it's COVID is kind of yesterday, but I wound up getting COVID, and I'm probably the last person that didn't have it that I know. But it finally caught up to me, and yeah, the Chinese are after us all. So whatever you think, whatever you want to know. But reading up on it, I'm now almost 11, 12 days past my first symptom. I am still testing positive. And when you look at that, the CDC says, hey, after 10 days, you shouldn't be, shedding live virus. It's probably dead virus. But that is 50-50. So nobody really knows. But since I don't really have symptoms other than this, you're welcome for all the ASMR folks out there who tune in. Let's talk about SPY. Yesterday, we wound up down. Normal pullback. The Dow did not get its record since the 1800s. It wound up down. Everything wound up down. You know what that means? Today's going to be up. You're going to see a super, super strong morning. One of the questions on Facebook that I want to start out with, Sam asked a serious question. If you don't have an algorithm to use, or you just don't know, can't justify paying for one, what's your thought process on setting an actual entry point for a particular stock? How do you go about determining the price, to what to look for, what's a good entry? I'm assuming it's not set in stone price, more of a range, but I've been struggling with this. Here's my answer to Sam. You have more free tools today than I did at any point in time when I amassed millions of dollars on thousands of dollars invested. That is my answer to you. Today, there are so many free tools. Number one, Webull. Sign up for Webull. Go to my link tree. And if you don't have it, it's linktr.ee/dailystockpick. The third link is Webull. Put a couple $100 into Webull. Get their desktop software. It's charting software. If you have Fidelity, use Active Trader Pro. I mean, that the free tools that you have out there to actually chart stocks, you don't need an algorithm. You don't need to pay for it. The only reason I have the algorithm is to take some emotion out of my trades, to understand where I'm getting in. But the free software, you can track MACD, find yourself an indicator. RSI, maybe buy things that are under the 50-day. I gave you guys a bunch of free scanners on FinViz to use. They do not feel like you have to pay for something. You absolutely 100% do not. TrendSpider ups your trading game. My suggestion, get your trading game in order before you get to TrendSpider. All TrendSpider does is take you from the third, maybe you're the third batter in the lineup. TrendSpider would take you to the cleanup batter. That's all it does. It just makes you that one step better. Maybe you're the right fielder in Little League, and you're shutting your eyes as you go to the catch the ball. TrendSpider, you can open your eyes when you catch that ball, and maybe you move to first base. We all know the right fielder in Little League is the worst player on the team. You all know it. Everybody knows it. If your kid's in right field, kudos to him. All he has to do is work a little harder to get a little better. That's all it is. But, don't feel like you don't have the tools, because FinViz is free. Seeking Alpha is free. Savvy Trader is free. My newsletter is free. FinViz is free. There are so many free tools out there. You shouldn't have this problem, and you shouldn't be paralyzed because you don't have an algorithm. That's not the way to think of it. You have to work at this. You have to understand tools. Go over to ZipTrader. Go over to TrendSpider University. Understand some of the tools that you have. TrendSpider University teaches you all about the indicators. Find an indicator. I gave a bunch of people my paid newsletter. Had how I came up with the algorithm, and it has videos. Pay for the newsletter, if you want. That's $7 a month. You can get that new portion newsletter. Just go back and read it. But don't feel like you have to pay for something. That's not, what this podcast is about, is trying to teach you how to find these things and what to look for. I give you algorithm, and I give you scans, and I give you those things, but it's not the necessary tools that you need. Remember, the majority of my fortune was made without any of these tools. I mean, shit, I remember, and I bring this up all the time, I had to walk into a brokerage house in the 80s and 90s and pay $50 in order to buy and sell a stock. And all I had was the day before Wall Street's journal to look at. That's it. Wasn't like the computers were around. The internet was barely even invented. I went around the world in 1993. Didn't have email. Had to send letters home to my parents. 1993. So, don't feel like you're at a disadvantage because you don't have paid tools. The free tools today are 100% better than any tools we've had in the past. So just don't, the glass isn't half empty. It's half full. That's my point and my message back to you. Okay, let's take a look at SPY. We talked about it. It's button hooking here, but you're going to wind up again. We lost the 9-day confirmation. You're going to gain it again as long as we hold through the afternoon. As long as you hold on SPY above 455, you should be fine. Opening right now is at 455.47. So as long as you hold a positive above 455, I think going into next week, we're looking good. Exxon reported this morning. And here's the thing. Exxon's going to be down in pre-market, down by 0.59%. I think 104 is a great price for this one. I don't think it's going to 120 at any point in time in the next week. I do think that it probably will hit 120 later this year, but it really depends on a ton of factors. Oil, they even made mention, oil and natural gas prices are down significantly year over year. So Exxon, the only reason that they're down is the comps from year over year. That's it. When you compare last year to this year, that's when your stock goes down because you're not growing as much. They produced more oil, but they made less money. So, and it's just the price of oil. So I'm not getting out of Exxon. I like Exxon. I think it's, I'll probably sell it if it gets back to the 1-teens. Just start to trim. I'm up over 100% on this one. I bought a few years back when it was in the 30s and 40s. So I'm fine sitting there, just holding it, not taking the capital gains, but it's in long-term capital gains, so I'm perfectly happy. I have a note to take a look at Pinterest, because Pinterest is one that I think it's similar to Meta. I think they will do very good with ads. I also think that it's pulled back a lot. Look at that. It just got you out of a 30% gain. If you have TrendSpider, I want you to take a look at this one on the 65-minute because I think before earnings, it's probably a good play on this. Remember, this is a stock that has Elliott Management, a management group, monitoring it to optimize cash. In my mind, if they're optimizing cash and they're putting forward, hey, we're going to increase our earnings, then you're going to see this one pop to 30. Their earnings are August 1st, post-market, I believe. Usually they come out, post-market, August 1st. I do not have this in my portfolio, but I like this one. I like this one going into next week, specifically because we've seen with Google and we've seen Facebook, both of those optimized their ads and did well. Snapchat did not optimize their ads, and they did shitty. So, the Dow, like I said, it was going to be the longest streak, 14 days in a row. It was going to be the longest streak since 1847. So I may do a Seeking Alpha chart. I won't do it live here. What happened at 1 p.m. yesterday? A bad bond auction. Bond rates went up. That's what took the market down. There was also a Bank of Japan, how they got hawkish or something. I don't exactly know, but if you look at the chart yesterday on an hourly, you'll see at 1 p.m. it just dropped off a cliff. That's what happened. We saw a pullback on stocks like Rivian. You saw it. This one dropped down in pre-market. Now it's at 26.65. It's going to open up there. It closed at 26.06 yesterday. You could have gotten it in the 25 range. I think that was a great opportunity because I do think that this one coming up on earnings August 8th, I think they'll probably do well on earnings. They're going to announce record. They've already announced record deliveries. You're going to have the July delivery number right before August 8th. Probably, I think next week, early next week, they probably will do the July. They may wait until August 8th to release the deliveries. But I like Rivian. A pullback on yesterday, XLK, the spider sector for tech. This was a fairly big pullback. It's up 1% at 177. You got down to 175. It was a great pullback to try and get into that one. I think it's a little bit extended. Probably wouldn't get into that one, but if you wanted to, yesterday was the pullback. Yesterday's pullback on Shopify, 63.97. It's at 65. I like this one going into earnings next week, August 2nd. I really do. I really think that one's a good one. Ford, yesterday, they announced, this is what's crazy. They announced that they're going to lose $2 billion on their EVs. They also announced that their ICE, internal combustion engine business, is running on all cylinders and going really well. And then what happened was they had their conference call. I think they were up like 3% at close to $15 per share. And then they had their conference call and they said, yeah, EVs, we're going to continue to lose money on them. And essentially this thing just crapped out because long-term ICE vehicles are not going to be very good. Wall Street wants these guys to get into the electrification. They want them to compete with Tesla. They can't compete with Tesla. So I think you're going to see when they start employing the NACS, North American Charging Standard, which is the Tesla plug, and these cars are allowed to use the Tesla network inherently without an adapter, you're going to see Ford and you're going to see GM and you're going to see Hyundai and you're going to see all those other cars that have agreed to it. You're going to see them take off because now they have a charging network. That's the biggest issue is no charging network. So Ford beat First Solar, FSLR. I want to talk about this one because we've got Sedge to talk about in Enphase. FSLR is up 12% in pre-market to 224. They blew away earnings, $1.89 per share. This was after 40 cents per share. So you can see the growth in this one. Huge earnings beat. Huge guidance forward. First Solar said that. On the opposite, First Solar also announced a new facility that they're building, and then Joe Biden came out and pumped it up even more by saying the Inflation Reduction Act is increasing solar production in America to compete with the Chinese solar production. If you don't know, the majority of solar panels that are produced in the world are produced in China. The Inflation Reduction Act tries to bring that back to American shores with some subsidies and things. And so First Solar will start building a plant that will produce American-made solar panels. Enphase earnings, on the other hand, Enphase, and I watched a great or read a really good article. I think it was on off of FinViz, Enphase versus Sedge, because both are inverter makers for solar. And Enphase earnings missed revenues. What killed Enphase is the third quarter guidance. Wall Street was looking for $700 million in the third quarter. They said they're going to make between 500 and 600. This was not well received, to say the least. They are down at 148. They are down. Let's see. Let's expand this a little bit. I'm going to take this. We're going to take that out. We're going to take this out. We're going to take. Okay. Enphase is down 11% at 148 pre-market. This is a stock that has just been beaten down. And it's beaten down. One of the issues is with California regulators. California utilities are saying they can't pay dollar for dollar. The producer, the basically people with solar panels can't sell. Say you pay 15 cents per kilowatt hour. Essentially in California, the law is that you have to, the utility has to pay you 15 cents per kilowatt hour if you produce solar power and they use it and you feed it back to the grid. Well, that law has changed, and now you have to start paying for the maintenance of the grid as well, so it's much less. So people are less likely to put solar panels on their thing. So Enphase is the main, I think it's like 30% of their business is California, and it's dropped off a cliff. That's why you're seeing this stock come down from $330 in December of last year to $144 now. It's still expensive. And with that lack of growth, they're not getting the justification of that forward PE of 23. It wants to bring it down. The average target price is 244, and you saw two downgrades. They brought it down to 165 and 171. So that 244 target price is significantly lower today, and it's because their growth is just not good. Well, what does that mean for my investment in Sedge? Sedge comes up. Their earnings are August 1st, and I've said this before. I've said it's a $300 stock. Sedge is more focused on Europe with their inverters. They're a totally different market. I don't believe that this, in my mind, the justification on Enphase is completely there. The justification on Sedge may not be there. Just understand, I am not an expert on this. The price to sales, 3.99 if we go with Sedge. If we go to Enphase, their price to sales is 8.66. So Sedge, in my mind, got taken down unnecessarily, and I think it's down 4%. But if they do guidance the way that Enphase does guidance, this one may have more to fall. I'm going to dollar cost average. I did buy in, I think at the 250s, 260s, somewhere in that neighborhood. It's at 232 at open right now, 232. It's hitting that 200-day. When's the last time it hit the 200-day? October 17th of last year. That was at the absolute lows. I think this one has an opportunity to bounce back. I will dollar cost average it. I like this one. I just think it's getting taken down unnecessarily. So that's my take on Sedge. Upstart. Talked about Upstart with Bradley Ferguson on Savvy Trader. And if you're not following Savvy Trader, here's my portfolio. It is Savvy Trader, SAVVY trader.com/daily stock pick. I've got two portfolios. I've got the trading portfolio and I've got the core portfolio. The core portfolio is an equal weighted portfolio that it just has 100 stocks of every stock that I recommend you have in your portfolio. It's up 4.14% over 30 days. The trading portfolio is up 1.61% over 30 days. If you want a greater portfolio, this guy, Stock Market Nerds, Bradley Freeman, he's got Upstart in his portfolio. Right now, it is the number one position. Had a big pullback yesterday, and it's actually getting another bump today. It's at $60. I think $60 is probably your buy point here, and a pivot. Their earnings are coming up next week. They're up 3% today. I don't know that I buy it today. Let it kind of just settle down a little bit. But I do like Upstart. This is a company that uses AI to make loans. They don't use FICO scores. They've gotten hurt in the past because of their loan losses with increasing interest rates, less money for consumers to spend. They could get hit again. So understand this one could be a bad one. But I do like it. It's risky. Brad likes it. I'm a fan. He's up, 150%, 200% on all his stuff. T-Mobile missed revenues, but beat on earnings per share. Net ads beat as well. It was an okay quarter. I want to show you TrendSpider. We talked about TrendSpider's blog in the previous newsletters and stuff. But I like this new indicator that they have. ICT order block indicator by Sonar Lab. It's a new one. You can add it to your chart. So if you have TrendSpider, get this. Try it out. I haven't added it to mine. I like it. But these guys add stuff all the time. Again, this adds to your trading. What's a trading block? Order blocks represent specific areas within price action in which it's believed that large market participants, such as institutional traders, hedge funds, and banks, have previously placed significant buy or sell orders. This is what you can use. I mean, if you want to play in the game with the big guys, this is an indicator that TrendSpider offers. I like it. I like it a lot. Add it to your charts. Let's see. Next one. Austin from Facebook. Thoughts on FTI as an energy play. Currently holding at an average of 15.25. Let's see FTI. FTI is Techna and I don't even know what these guys do. Currently holding at 15. Great trade. You're making some money here. Their earnings came out. Big candle. 7% yesterday. Big after earnings candle. Let's see what they said. FTI. This is an oil and gas equipment. 7.7 billion. Super small cap. They are losing $20 million per year. They're not making money. How are you not making money in oil and gas? Let's see, what did they do? Engages in oil, gas projects, technologies, and systems. 2 insider sales, March and December. Nothing really to speak of. Average target price of 19. July 14th, resumed Capital One with a $22 price target. Hey, listen. If I'm losing money in oil and gas, I mean, you can't argue with the stock price. The stock price has gone up, but it's losing money. I mean, I don't know why you're in a losing money stock in oil and gas. Their assumption, again, the assumption is that they're going to make money. Their forward PE is 17, so it is expensive. The most recent Capital One came out and said it's $22. I mean, take a look at their earnings. I don't know what I'm going to tell you that's any different than what you can read on your own. I don't know this one. Nothing jumps out to me as like, oh my God, I've got to get into this. It's run significantly. I would have rather seen you buy at 10 and up here at 17, but I would have rather bought at the beginning of the year at like 9. I mean, this time last year at $9, you double your money. Great chart. Still looks like you have some confirmation above the 9-day, but the 9-day is turning negative. I'd be worried about that MACD cross down and the RSI at 52. I think it's a little bit overbought right here. I'd be a little bit careful of it. But that's just from a chart standpoint, from a fundamental standpoint. It's an oil and gas company that's losing money. That makes no sense to me. But, you can stay in it if you'd like, Austin. In my mind, you've made your trade. You've got your money. Be careful. Protect your profits, because this one could have a rug pull, especially with that 7% candle right after earnings. It looks like the earnings were positive, but it didn't pop. So I don't know what they said. You'd have to read about what they said. Earnings next week. Let's go over this list. And I'm going to put the list in the newsletter. I'm not going to go over every one, but the first one that I like is SOFI. SOFI next week, they're going to talk about their forward stuff, the repayment of student loans. You're going to hear a lot about the banking stuff. Again, $9.25 is where it's trading right now. I think if you get this with an 8 handle before the earnings are coming up Monday. I think it's Monday before the bell. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit tough to get this one with an 8 handle, I think. Today it's up 1.25%. But if you can do that before, I think it's good. On semi is another one. Semiconductors have been ripping. We talked about Intel finally being positive. Intel's a perfect example. When they start making money, don't be on the sidelines. It's up 6% today on semi. One that I like is Uber. And Uber is one that if they announce that they are cash flow positive, you can see they lost 8 cents per share. If they announce that they are cash flow positive on this quarter, it's easily a $50 stock. And you're at 46.77. I think if you can get this with a 45 handle, you're doing really well before earnings. It's coming. Their earnings are coming up. Let's see. It's August 1st pre-market. So it's Tuesday pre-market. I like that one. Another one that I like is PXD. I mean, come on. Do I have to say it again? They're at 218. They're down 1%. It's because Exxon announced, hey, year over year, it's tough. The comps compared to last year's, it's going to be tough. Do I think that this one comes back down to 200? Maybe. I've been adding it. So I continue to say anything under 210 on this one, anything under 200, it's a great buy. You can continue to collect your dividend. They're going to announce another dividend. Devon Energy is coming up. Again, same thing. They're down 0.21%. You're seeing this kind of button hook here. Their earnings are coming up on Tuesday as well. Is it post-market or pre-market? Post-market. I like this one. I like it a lot. Qualcomm is coming up next week. QCOM. This one has just run, and it's run a lot. I mean, you're looking back here in May at 105. You're up at 127. Great trade on this one. I mean, you've double topped it out here at 125. So I'd be a little bit careful of this one. I do think from a long-term perspective, if we look at this one, it's still got room to run. It's just hitting the 200-day. So I like that one. Shopify, we talked about. I think if these guys announce some type of earnings, positive earnings, I think is very, very likely. I think you're looking at a $70 stock, and it's at 65 right now. I think if you get that 64 handle today, which you probably will, I think you take it and you run with it. I've got a big position in this one in the 70s. I haven't been able to dollar cost average it down because I did get in fairly big in 2021, and I just haven't gotten out of it. I haven't needed the money. Oxy, Occidental Petroleum, Simon Property Group, Apple and Amazon are two big ones next week. Those are both on Thursday. Would I get into these prior to earnings? Apple, I don't think so. Apple's going to be tough. I mean, their comps last year, they're going to have to announce something huge. I think services will be up. I think there's a focus on their app store, charging 30%. The justifications of this one are tough. So I don't know that I'd necessarily be in this. Opposite, Amazon. Amazon, if they announce that their cloud is down, that's going to kill this stock back to about the 120 level, I think. I don't know that you're getting back down here to the 108 level. I don't know that you're going to cover this gap. I would say probably in this neighborhood of 120, 125 is probably where you would come back to. I just, Amazon's got a cost problem, not a demand problem. So they've got to look at that. DraftKings is another one. Sedge, PayPal. PayPal's in my trading portfolio. I'm holding it through earnings. I can't imagine that this one doesn't do well. But here you can see it clearly. This was a gap fill. There's another gap up here at 85. That's the one that I'm holding for. I will add more if this one pulls back to the 60s. If I get another 6 handle on this one, I will add more. And AMD. AMD's reporting next week. I can't imagine that these guys don't announce some crazy good stuff. I bought more at 109. I think anything with a 110, 110, 112, I think anything within that range, I think you add to it, and I think you're fine. Again, Intel, positive. NVIDIA continues to soar. AMD is the number two chip player. So let's talk about scans that came up. Meta, META. This one, 311. Got you out here right before earnings with a 21% gain. 311, it got you back in. You're at 315 today. Just buy it. It's a $330 stock. I'm telling you, by the end of the year, it's a $330 stock. You got 5%. It might even be 380. I mean, if they get threads going, imagine that one. KOLD. I don't know that I'd play in the KOLD short. It's an ultra short natural gas. I don't know that I'd do this one. The cross up here at 62. I think I'd rather play in Boyle. I think anything in Boyle around with a 5 handle. Boyle is now trading at 61. I think I'd buy it under 60. I think I'd buy it under 60 and sell it over 60. I think that's the way I would play that one. SDow, short Dow. I don't think you short the Dow. I think the Dow took a breather yesterday. I think it's going to go again. XLC, Intel, INTC had a cross up. ALGN, Zoom, ASML, NXPI, and FedEx. Those are the cross ups. Again, it's Friday. I don't suggest that you necessarily buy anything. I suggest you kind of take a little patience. I am looking at Shopify for next week. I am looking at SOFI for next week. I'm looking at Uber for next week. And Apple and Amazon, I'm sitting there. Sedge, on the other hand, I'm looking at maybe adding more Sedge. I just think that from what I've read, I like Sedge. 235, I can't imagine. You can look at the long-term one of this one. When's the last time you had 200-day? Back here in the October lows of 2022. So I like this one. I don't think it's a crazy valuation. I like it. So if you have any questions, hit me up on the socials. Again, the sponsor mainly is TrendSpider. If you want TrendSpider, get 25% off by clicking that first link in my link tree, linktr.ee. Thank you, everybody who tipped me. It has been a great week. I should be getting more tips, but I don't do this for the money. Whether you tip me $1, $5, $20, $50, $100, $250, whatever you want. I'm a bartender, so I make money with the tips. And some sponsors like Webull. If you sign up for Webull, this third link here gets you to Webull. And you get free stocks. Put a couple $100 in there. I'm telling you, I like their app. And like I said, they have a free desktop software. You don't have to pay for TrendSpider if you don't want to. Find your own system. That's what this entire podcast is about, is understanding that there are no losers in this game. The only losers are the people who don't have a plan. If you have a plan, it's back tested and it works. Day trade on Savvy Trader. Right here, go to Savvy Trader, SAVVYTRADER.com. Set up your own portfolio. Day trade it. It's paper trading. You can practice. Do it for free. There's no reason for you to spend money on stuff if you don't want to, or if you're not trading with enough money. I've provided you plenty of free tools, including my newsletter, dailystockpick.substack.com. It comes in your email every day. It's simple. All the notes, everything that I go over here, it's all in that newsletter. It's free. If you want paid subscription, I do educational stuff on the weekends with a newsletter. The feedback has been phenomenal about that, all positive. Nobody's complained about it. Nobody has unsubscribed, so I guess everybody likes it. And in fact, it's probably best to subscribe to the newsletter because I am going to be working at the NFL Hall of Fame game next week. So if you have any questions, you can hit me up on email. Again, on the link tree. If you don't have the social programs, right here is the email box. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, Substack, or that's Spotify. That's Apple Podcast. This is the Tip Me. That's email, and that's Substack. So any questions, hit me up. I will talk to you guys maybe next week. I might do something next week, but don't count on it because I may be too busy working. But okay, have fun. Have a great weekend. I'll talk to you later. I do love IONQ. Boyle wasn't in the thousands. Boyle did a 10-for-1 reverse split, though. I can show you that. Any thoughts on TPL? I don't have any thoughts on TPL. I don't know TPL. I think it's coming up here to fill that gap at 1,579. It's clear it's kind of been on a run. Let's look at the fundamentals. Wow, it's expensive. That is an expensive oil and gas company. Down 38% on the year. Target price is 2,000. It's trading at 1,500. But that target price is junk. Don't listen to that target price. They're all buying. There's a lot of buying going on here. May, Horizon Kinetic bought a ton of it. Stahl Murray bought a ton of it. And it's just a lot of small buys, it seems. It's a small cap. They're buying it down here. The book value, 107. So they're 10 times the book value. But that's an expensive PE for an oil and gas. Palantir's up. I probably should include Palantir on the earnings too. August 7th. I'm going to include that in the earnings. Palantir is going to have another MACD cross up here and probably continue to go up. Where's IONQ at? $16. This is up 8% today, Brandon. I mean, imagine if you had just followed the algorithm at 1046 and gotten in on this one, and you're at 16. $10,000 is now $16,000. That's great. Export song to disk. Let me see. Okay. Let me see this. Oh. Do. We're going to delete those. And we're going to Open up iMovie. I think I did it again, by the way, where I, let's see.
Good morning. Happy Friday. Friday, good morning. Happy Friday. Friday, July 28th. I am still COVID positive. What I'm reading about it, it's funny when you wind up getting COVID, and it's COVID is kind of yesterday, but
Okay. I had 6 pieces of French toast this morning, too. Export file. Next. 728 pod. Save. Joe, it doesn't, if Joe's here, it doesn't, ooh, Vale really got taken down. Oof, Vale got killed on earnings. Here. We're going to go over here, Active Trader Pro. Vale got killed on earnings. Let's look at Mullen. $0.11. Let's look at Shopify. I think Shopify lost its mojo here. Meta has started to fly. You want to go under, Penny? Lift that up for you. Okay. You don't have to go under. You can go on top. Love you. With that, I am going to go to upload. Whatever they did, it seems to have not done well. Shop, SOFI, what are the other ones that I... Uh, 728. We're gonna go and grab. Wonder if my dog just shit downstairs. That won't be good. No. Come on. Hey. Come on. No. I got stuff to do. You can't interrupt me like that. Okay. Ugh. No. Come on. Hey. Daisy. Come on. Daisy. Hey. Come here. Daisy. Daisy. Come here. Come here. I know. I love
you. I do. And I love you. Okay. There you go.
I may have to leave here. Let's see. SOFI. Bum, bum, bum. And then we'll take our notes. And man, the fans on this thing are moving. Let's see. Now. No. And save. Next. Insert ad break. Insert ad break. And publish. Okay. I've got that one done. Let's look at iMovie. iMovie still has 4 minutes remaining. Okay, since I've got SRFM. Oh. Surf Air Mobility. Let's go to a 5 minute. Since it was IPO'd yesterday. Typical IPO. Starts out at 483. Ended up at 276. Okay, hold on 1 second. Huh. I think you had told me SRFM. I need to... Where's my iMovie? Okay, this one's done. We're going to quit iMovie. I wonder if it's iMovie that's messing up the... I have to do a thumbnail. Let's go to Canva. Show me your altar. Okay, let's create a copy of this. Make a copy. Let's see. Shop, SOFI, Uber. Uploads. Let's see. What am I going to put? And let's, oh no, I want to change the background. We're going to change this to... There we go. Share. Download. Download. Yeah, I'm on the dresser. Have a great weekend, Sherry. See ya. I am on the dresser. Upload thumbnail. Oh. What's wrong? Do you have to go out? Come here. Come on. Daisy, come here. Daisy! Daisy! What's wrong? Shop, Uber, SOFI. Okay, let me see. We're gonna. Boom. IONQ. I would have had a heart attack by now with IONQ. Okay, let me see. I'm going to do. Where's my Weeble? Weeble. I got more for. Oh, I got a Google pair stock. Woohoo! Copy. And let's see. No. We're gonna go here. Okay. And boom. Okay. And no, it's not made for kids. Publish. Close. Gonna take that out. Okay. I have got to go let the dog out, so I will talk to you guys. Okay, I gotta run. I will talk to you guys later. Dog is crying. Hold on, I'll come back. Jesus. Whew. Those warrants, Brandon, when I got warrants, I had to ask, I called Fidelity because there was a big charge in selling warrants. It was a situation, I forget where it was. It was like a sale or something. Whew. But yeah, I just called Fidelity. Call whoever your broker is. And hopefully it's not Robinhood. I think it was AIG that I got warrants on. Okay, and with that,